Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Spitzenberger and I'm going to be presenting a marketing plan on Servant Community Church. Let's start with the industry analysis. The industry of religious organizations within the United States consists of both organized religions and smaller faiths that are not necessarily recognized in standard religious teachings. Some of the major players in the industry include evangelical Protestants, Catholics, and mainline Protestants. Historically, mainline Protestants were the majority of the religious organizations industry, but memberships have actually now been declining since the 1950s. The largest church among mainline Protestants is the United Methodist Church. The overall religious organizations industry has grown about 1% annually from 2011 to 2016, but is unfortunately expected to decline in the next 5 years. One of the reasons for this decline is an increase in competition for leisure time from entertainment and recreational industries, as well as an increase in the number of young adults doubting organized religion, as well as a decrease in donations to religious organizations. These are all reasons for the decline. Now, the Company of Servant Community is a United Methodist Church that was founded in 2013 by Ken Reingans and Sue Reingans, a married couple. It's located on Raspberry Hill Farm in Sullivan, Wisconsin, which is approximately 20 miles northeast of Whitewater, Wisconsin. Servant Community's mission is to reach young adults and make them disciples of Christ for the transformation of the world. The church attempts to reach young adults ages 18 to 30 through 3 focus areas: spiritual development, community building, and missions. Now, Servant Community offers a discipleship intensive internship throughout the entire year that actually encompasses all 3 of these focus areas. There's no cost to participate in the internship, and all meals, housing, and activities are included. Another major event that Servant Community sponsors every year is a mission trip to the Gulf Coast of Texas over spring break. Now, this trip costs about $200 a week per participant, but again, that covers all food, housing, transportation, and activities while there. Servant Community also holds outreach events and worship every week at Raspberry Hill Farm. The farm itself covers 40 acres of land and provides the church with tons of resources. Some of these resources include barns for storage, an 8-bedroom house, a fruit tree orchard, vegetable gardens, and even a mile of hiking trails. Servant Community currently has 3 employees that each work 40 hours a month for $15 an hour. Their titles are Worship and Music Ministry Coordinator, Communications and Outreach Coordinator, and Marketing Coordinator. Servant Community receives a majority of its income from donations, mission trip fees, and the United Methodist Conference funds, but unfortunately reported a loss of around $300 in 2016. Servant Community's customers, this is the overall industry. In a survey conducted by the United Methodist Church in 2010, it was actually found the majority of members are born in the United States, educated, married, and in the middle class. It also found that the median age of worshipers is 57. Now, individuals ages 18 to 24 represent a mere 4% of the United Methodist Church, whereas individuals ages 45 to 64 represent 37% of members. So with that, a majority of the members in the largest segment are most likely baby boomers, and the individuals in the smallest segment are millennials. A study found that 48% of millennials believe in God without a doubt, and 63% of baby boomers believe in God without a doubt. It also found that 30% of millennials have no religious affiliation, whereas a mere 10% of baby boomers have no religious affiliation. Now, to talk about our competition, first of all, local churches in the city of Whitewater, specifically Living Word Fellowship and Crosspoint. These churches have very similar missions to Servant Community, and many of Servant Community's members are also members of these churches. Our second competitor is parachurches. These are faith-related organizations typically found on college campuses. Some specifically that we compete with are Campus Crusades, the Navigators, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and InterVarsity Christian Fellowship. All these parachurches provide young adults with a Christ-centered community, also accompanied with Bible studies, prayer, social events. These are all things that Servant Community does too. What these parachurches have up on us is that they're conveniently located on the UW-Whitewater campus. Another competitor of ours is Greek organizations and athletic teams on the UW-Whitewater campus. Now, this might seem strange to you, but actually each one of these organizations, again, provides a community for young adults to interact with other young adults that may have similar interests to them. The only difference here, obviously, is that Servant Community offers a community that's faith-based, whereas the Greek organizations and athletic teams do not. Let's look at Servant Community's strengths. First of all, our location on Raspberry Hill Farm allows young adults to really venture into God in regards to nature. Also, Servant Community is very unique in that it's located on a farm, so it's not only a church, but it's also a farm and a farmhouse. Also, it's unique that we focus on young adults. The entire church is focused on young adults. It's a very specific segment. We have a variety of offerings as well. You can not only do mission trips, but you can also do outreach events. You can do the internship. There's a lot of different variety for all of our members. Also, we have the Texas Spring Break Mission Trip is one of our specific mission trips. It had its largest attendance in 2016 since the trip began back in 2009, and this provides young adults with a positive, faith-based, and low-cost alternative for spring break, definitely a strength. And our discipleship intensive internship also allows young adults to explore their faith at no cost. That's not something many people can do. Weakness is our location. Even though we're located on Raspberry Hill Farm, we are about 25 minutes away from Whitewater, which isn't close to our market. Also, we have a lack of reputation since we were just founded about 3 years ago. Not many people know about us. We also have a lack of capital since the majority of our funding is from donations, and we did obviously run a loss in 2016. Some opportunities. There are half of millennials that believe in God. That's a huge segment that we could appeal to. There are also a lot of unreached millennials, that 30% that state they have no religious affiliation. This might be a segment we would attack in the future, not necessarily right away, but this is an opportunity to make connections. Further, a lot of our members are currently supporting our competitors. That gives us the in. We might even be able to get in and talk to these competitors and let them know what Servant Community has to offer on top of what they're already offering. A threat within the industry is that there's a ton of membership decline and the overall industry itself is declining. There's also competition for leisure time. There's a lot of young adults that are doubting organized religions, and there's overall a decline in donations. Let's look at Servant Community's marketing plan objectives. Our first objective is to increase the full-time spring discipleship intensive participants from 2 young adults to 4 young adults by January 21st, 2017. Our second objective is to double the participation in the Texas Spring Break Mission Trip from 80 young adults, which was our largest, to 160 young adults by March 11, 2017. Our third is to increase the full-time summer discipleship intensive participants from 6 young adults from 2016 to 15 young adults by May 20th, 2017. Our last is to obtain a consistent attendance at outreach events of 20 young adults or more by the end of 2017. Now, if you break down our segments we talked about before, young adults that believe in God. These individuals are likely to be members of religious organizations already on university campuses. They ultimately want to be part of a Christ-centered community that assists them in growing in their faith. Then we also have young adults with no religious affiliation. These individuals stray away from religion, don't want to talk about it, or might just have a lack about it, and really just don't want to engage in conversation. Therefore, our target market is going to be young adults ages 18 to 30 that believe in God and want to explore further into their faith. This segment is most attractive because it represents roughly half of millennials. Further, this segment is already rooted in faith. That makes our argument a little bit easier towards them. And as a nonprofit organization, it's important to pursue a segment that's likely to create a return on investment. To position ourselves among these individuals, we're going to be a United Methodist Church that allows young adults to develop their faith through a variety of unique outlets. How cool. They can venture deeper by creating music, hiking through nature, planting a garden, and even taking cooking classes. Servant Community ultimately wants to be viewed as a church that not only offers basic services, but also allows young adults to explore their personal interests in a very welcoming atmosphere. Some of the services that we'll offer is a non-judgmental place. That's really important, and young adults will have access to that. It also provides young adults with an opportunity to develop friendships with others that are like-based thinking and non-like-based thinking. It also nurtures the creation of community of believers. You're able to be connected to not just your community, but also the broader society with open discussion and conversations about the real world. This connection is ultimately what young adults are seeking as they're exploring the world. So where we're going to go with our promotions. First place we're going to head is the University of Wisconsin Whitewater campus. A lot of our competitors are already located in Whitewater or on the Whitewater campus, so we need to get there too. The church is going to place our communications and outreach coordinator outside the University Center on the UW Whitewater campus to hand out flyers about upcoming outreach events, and he'll also obviously speak with any young adults passing by. He'll also be placing flyers on pillars inside the University Center and on billboards to kind of attract any students walking by looking for something fun to do on the weekend. We'll also be locating ourselves at Rosa's Pizza in downtown Whitewater, again, getting where our competition is in the city of Whitewater. At this event, as an incentive for young adults to attend, the church will actually offer free pizza and ice cream. And again, our Communications and Outreach Coordinator will be speaking to all attendees about upcoming outreach events, the Spring Break Texas Mission Trip, and the Discipleship Intensive internships. And we'll also hand out flyers about these events. The last place we want to get to that's a physical location is competitor events or meetings. Serving Community has a lot of members that are already in with our competitors. So as a result, we can work through these individuals to get in contact with our competitors and maybe even speak at their meetings and hand out flyers about what Serving Community can offer on top of what they're already offering. So as far as electronic locations go, we want to be on Facebook. Serving Community currently has a Facebook, but doesn't post very frequently. And since millennials are known to be on social media, our presence needs to be much larger. Our marketing coordinator will be creating Facebook event pages for outreach events, the Texas Spring Break Mission Trip, and the Discipleship Intensive internships. For electronic as well, we want to continue to update our website and send out emails. So on the website, we're going to make sure to have all of our Facebook links on there so that all of our different sites are connected together. And the church will obviously continue to update the website and the emails on a weekly basis. Now, to talk a little bit more about the flyers, they're going to have exact dates, times, locations. Further, our marketing coordinator will be creating flyers that give, more information about the internships, the Spring Break Mission Trip. We don't want to make these flyers too overwhelming. We just want to make them intriguing so that young adults ask more questions. For public speaking, Brian is he is our communications and outreach coordinator. He will be speaking at the University Center. He'll also be speaking at Rosa's. And then we have no cost because we're actually going to have Serving Community members voluntarily speaking at the events and meetings of competitors, hopefully once a month. Serving Community will also be promoting events as an addition to what those competitors are already receiving, making sure that we're not, kind of hurting ourselves and stepping on ourselves in those situations. For Facebook, our marketing coordinator will be posting on the Facebook page at least once a week about outreach events, and a majority of the posts are going to include, event descriptions, Bible verses, photos to really get our viewers intrigued. She'll also be creating Facebook event pages for the Texas Spring Break Mission Trip and the Discipleship Intensive internships, and then adding as many young adults as possible and encouraging young adults to share it with their friends. For the website, our marketing coordinator will be updating information about outreach events on the homepage every single week. And like I said, we'll also have links on the website to all of our Facebook posts and Facebook event pages. And for the email, we're going to be sending out what we call a weekly scoop. It's going to give the scoop about what's going on every week, and obviously you mentioned that new Roses event in every single email. Now the cost of our marketing plan is very low, considering our only cost that's in addition to our cost for 2016 is flyers. Now, 160 sheets of paper cost about 46 cents, and 160 sheets to cover them in ink is about $12.44. Therefore, our monthly cost to create flyers is going to be around $12.90, and the yearly cost to create flyers is going to be $154.80. Now, our budget, Ken Reingans, the director of the church, allocated us $200 to put towards it. Now, he said this is because we're only guaranteed the United Methodist Church conference funds, not necessarily all the donations. And our funding for 2017 from the conference is only expected to increase by $100 each month, which is very low. And we also need to pay off our losses from last year. So we don't have too much money to allocate to marketing. But our projections is that if Serving Community is able to make a profit in 2017, it'll be about $2,800. The reason this is because by increasing the participants on the Texas Spring Break Mission Trip and by having a consistent attendance at outreach events, our income from fees will dramatically increase. Now, the obvious effect of this, too, is that we'll also have an increase in expenses. Serving Community's income statement will also show that $100 increase in United Methodist Church funds and the marketing expenses associated with creating flyers. Finally, as the number of members involved in the church increases, our operating expenses will increase as well. Last but not least, the church will need to monitor its progress through an Excel customer database. The Excel customer database will allow Servant Community to track its progress of young adults by having information on them about their name, their gender, their age, address, email, interests, and all the exact events that they attended. In this way, Servant Community Church is able to get to know its members while also monitoring the increase or decrease of participants in outreach events in the Texas Spring Break Mission Trip and the Discipleship Intensive internships and all of its outreach events. Thank you so much for listening, and have a good rest of your day.